This deep dive is going to take us into some pretty wild territory.
Oh, yeah.
Our source material today is this play script, and it kind of seems like it's riffing on Ayn Rand's Anthem with some serious sci-fi twists thrown in.
Okay.
So picture this. A group of rebels hiding from this dystopian world council that's all about, like, crushing individuality.
Yeah.
And they've stumbled onto some pretty shocking truths about humanity's past and maybe even our future.
Well, that's a great premise for a play right there.
Right.
It really is.
So what's so intriguing is how the play takes these familiar dystopian themes and uses them as a springboard to explore much bigger questions.
Yeah.
Like about who we are and where we come from.
Right.
It's like the playwright saying, okay, let's take this idea of a society that like totally stifles individual potential, you know, to the extreme, and then throw in aliens and ancient conspiracies to the mix.
Well, that's certainly taking it up a notch.
Yeah. So these rebels are running an underground pirate news broadcast, basically,
Oh, yeah.
trying to wake people up to like the reality of the World Council's control.
Right.
But as they dig deeper into like what's really going on, they uncover this hidden history that suggests that humanity might be the product of like genetic experimentation
Oh, wow.
by these advanced beings.
And who are these beings?
Oh, they even like name drop the Anunnaki and Elohim,
No way.
connecting those names to ancient Sumerian texts and the Bible.
So they're really going all in on the ancient astronaut theory then.
It seems like it.
Interesting.
And it's not just some random sci-fi element thrown in there for like shock value.
Right.
By linking these extraterrestrial beings to these figures from ancient texts.
Yeah.
The play starts to raise some serious questions about what we consider history versus myth. Like, what if those stories that we've always dismissed as just mythology are actually like distorted accounts of real events?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does.
Like how much of what we believe to be true is actually just based on someone else's interpretation?
Right.
And who gets to decide which stories become history and which ones get relegated to myth?
Exactly.
Those are big questions.
Yeah, and the play doesn't stop there.
Oh, really?
It goes on to suggest that these ancient beings might still be influencing humanity today,
Oh.
but through this like powerful shadowy group called the Dark Light.
Oh, wow.
So they're supposedly manipulating global events and even engaging in these covert genetic interventions to control the population.
Now, that's a pretty chilling thought.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where that connection to Ayn Rand's philosophy gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm curious.
So Rand was all about the power of the individual and the dangers of collectivism.
Right.
In this play, the Dark Light represents like the ultimate collective force,
Interesting.
seeking to control humanity through genetic manipulation and just like the suppression of individuality.
So it's like Anthem, but on a cosmic scale.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've got this oppressive world council that's kind of mirroring that collectivist society and Anthem,
Right.
plus this Dark Light group pulling strings from the shadows.
Yeah.
But then the play throws in another layer.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, they introduce this galactic federation of these diverse extraterrestrial species who are like trying to protect humanity from the Dark Light's agenda.
Okay, so now we've got a whole new faction in the mix, and
Yeah.
what are their motives?
Well, that's what the play explores. It's not just humans fighting amongst themselves anymore. It's this cosmic struggle between forces that represent like different visions for humanity's future.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So the play forces us to ask, who gets to decide our destiny? And what happens when these powerful beings, even with good intentions, like interfere in our affairs? I mean,
Right.
is it ever okay for someone else, even a more advanced species, to make decisions for us?
Yeah, and the play really wrestles with those ethical dilemmas. The characters even debate whether humanity is even ready for the truth about our origins.
Oh, I see. Like, would knowing about these beings and their role in our history just shatter society as we know it?
Exactly.
That's a heavy question.
It is, and it's a fascinating exploration of like the psychological and societal impact of encountering such radical truths.
I can only imagine.
Imagine finding out that everything you thought you knew about human history was wrong.
Yeah.
That we're not actually the masters of our own fate.
Right.
How would you even begin to process that information?
It would be a lot to take in, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And how would it change the way you view yourself and your place in the universe?
Those are profound questions that the play is raising.
It is heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But the play doesn't just leave us hanging in this like existential crisis.
Well, thank goodness for that.
It builds to this dramatic climax where the Galactic Federation takes over the Rebels broadcast,
Oh, wow.
announcing that they're coming to Earth to expose the dark light and usher in a new era for humanity.
It's like a cosmic mic drop moment.
It really is.
So the play leaves us on this cliffhanger, filled with anticipation, but also a bit of dread.
Right.
Like, what's going to happen when these advanced beings arrive? How will humanity react? Will we be ready?
Exactly. And will we be able to break free from that control of the dark light and embrace this vision of a future that the Galactic Federation is offering?
So many questions.
We'll dive into those questions and more.
Man, that cliffhanger ending really does leave you hanging, huh? Like, where do we even go from here?
Right. This whole revelation about the dark light just throws everything we thought we knew out the window.
It really does.
It's like everything we thought was solid ground is suddenly quicksand.
Yeah, like
Sure.
we've been living in this illusion.
Yeah.
And the play doesn't shy away from that, you know? It really digs into the potential chaos and the psychological fallout
Oh, absolutely.
of what a revelation like that could cause.
Yeah, like how do you even begin to process the idea that everything you believed about human history was potentially manipulated?
Right.
It's like how much of what we think we know is actually true and how much is just like a carefully constructed narrative.
Yeah, and that ties back to that character Sharon, right?
Right, yeah.
She starts questioning whether there even is an objective reality.
Right, she's like, is everything just subjective?
Yeah, it's like the play is echoing all those classic philosophical debates about like, you know, can we ever truly know the world as it is?
Or are we always stuck in our own little bubbles of perception?
Exactly.
And the play uses that whole extraterrestrial intervention as like a whole new way to look at it.
Oh, totally.
Like if these beings have been shaping our history and our perceptions all along,
Yeah.
then what does that even say about free will?
Right. Are we really in control of our own destiny, or are we just pawns in this grand cosmic game?
It's a mind-blowing concept.
It is, and it forces us to confront the limits of our own understanding.
And if free will is an illusion, then where does that leave us with morality and responsibility?
Right. Like, if our choices are predetermined, can we really be held accountable for our actions?
It's like the play is throwing down a gauntlet, challenging us to rethink our most fundamental assumptions.
It really is, and it's that challenge that makes it so compelling.
There's still that glimmer of hope.
Mm-hmm. That resilience of the human spirit.
Yeah, that refusal to give up, even when faced with overwhelming odds.
Like that scene with Mark, remember?
Oh, yeah.
When he talks about human consciousness being this form of natural technology.
Yeah, it's like he's saying that even if our biology has been messed with, we still have this inherent capacity for love, for compassion, for connection.
Exactly. Those are the things that can't be engineered or erased.
Those are the things that make us human.
And that idea ties in beautifully with Ayn Rand's whole philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
That belief in the power of the individual to overcome adversity.
Right. It's like a little spark of defiance in all that darkness.
And it's that spark that ultimately shines through in the Galactic Federation's message. They don't just come in and say, hey, you've been duped.
Right. They offer a different path.
Yeah, a vision of a future where humanity is awakened to its true potential.
A future where we transcend all that fear and division.
And embrace unity and love.
Oh, man, that final broadcast from the Galactic Federation is powerful stuff.
It really is, the way they just hijack the airwaves and address humanity directly.
Yeah, it's like a cosmic wake-up call.
It is, but it's not preachy or condescending either.
Right. They acknowledge our fears, but they also offer a sense of hope.
It's like they're saying, we see your potential and we're here to help you reclaim your power.
That's what makes it so impactful.
Absolutely. It's that blend of realism and optimism.
It leaves us with this lingering question, though. Will we listen?
Right. Will we heed that call and actually step into our true potential?
The play doesn't give us any easy answers.
It doesn't, but it definitely gives us a lot to think about.
So much to ponder. So we've gone deep down the rabbit hole with this one.
Oh, yeah, we have.
This play throws like a dystopian society, ancient beings, this shadowy group, and a galactic federation all into the mix.
It's a lot to unpack.
It really is. But what I find so fascinating is that it's not just about the plot.
Right. It's about using those elements to explore something deeper. And the choices we make when even reality itself seems uncertain.
It's like philosophy disguised as a sci-fi thriller.
Exactly. And it's done so well.
I know, right? It's really engaging.
The way those dystopian elements are woven together with those huge cosmic themes.
Yeah, and it's still grounded in these relatable human experiences.
Right. You see those characters wrestling with doubt and fear.
But also with hope And this longing for something more.
That longing for something beyond the confines of their world.
I think that resonates with everyone.
Yeah, we all crave that sense of meaning.
That purpose, that feeling
yeah.
of belonging.
And the play suggests that you can't find that in blind obedience.
Right. Or by conforming to the collective.
It's about embracing individuality.
And that message is so powerful, especially in a world where manipulation and control are becoming more and more sophisticated.
It's a call to action, to think critically and trust your gut.
And I love how the play doesn't just focus on the negative.
Yeah, it also explores the potential for positive change.
The Galactic Federation isn't just there to expose the bad guys.
Right. They offer this new path forward.
A vision where humanity wakes up to its true potential.
And that human spirit that rises above it all.
And that's what stays with me after this deep dive.
That sense of hope and resilience.
And that power we have to choose our own path.
It's a reminder that we're not just passengers.
We're active participants in shaping our reality.
And that's a powerful message to carry with us.
So as we wrap this up, I'm left with this feeling of wonder.
And responsibility.
Yeah, wonder at the possibilities.
And the responsibility for the choices we make.
It's like this ongoing journey of exploration and self-discovery.
Shaping our collective future.
And it requires us to be engaged and curious.
And courageous in our pursuit of truth and a better world.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll have our own encounter with the Galactic Federation.
Until then, we keep diving deep.
Keep questioning.
And keep striving for that better world.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.